what the hell just happened in Los Angeles? Because if you were watching that Spain versus Belgium quarterfinal live, you saw the exact moment an entire nation decided this World Cup is fixed. One 50-50 call, one arm inside the box, one referee waving play on, and within about 90 seconds, Belgian fans, Belgian pundits, and half the neutral internet were screaming the same word: rigged. Now here's the part that makes this one different from every other refereeing row this tournament. It isn't the decision itself that has gone viral. It's what happened around it. The camera angles Belgian fans are circulating right now. The audio that leaked out of the VAR check. And a former Premier League referee who went on television within an hour of the final whistle and said out loud that in any other tournament, in any other week, that is a penalty. So let's take this one apart properly. Because this handball has become something much bigger than a handball. Start with the moment itself. Because you need to understand exactly what Belgium think they were denied. It is the 63rd minute in Los Angeles. Spain won. Belgium won. Kevin De Bruyne, playing on a leg that would give out on him within about 10 minutes, whips a low-driven ball into the Spanish penalty area from the right. Jeremy Doku, who has been the most dangerous Belgian on the pitch all night, gets a flick on it. And the ball ricochets off Rodri's left arm from roughly 4 yards. Belgian players immediately raise their hands. Rudy Garcia on the touchline is already sprinting toward the fourth official. Referee Michael Oliver waves play on. VAR takes a look. 90 seconds later, the decision comes back. No penalty. And this is where the game turned. Because in that same passage of play, Spain broke, won a corner, and cleared their heads. Belgium never got that close to a decisive moment again. 25 minutes later, Mikel Merino would score the winner off a rebound, and the tournament would be over for the Red Devils. But hold on to that image. The ball hitting the arm. Because we are coming back to it. And what the slow motion actually shows is going to surprise you. First though, you need the context for why this specific call has detonated the way it has. Because this is not happening in a vacuum. This is happening in the most scandal-drenched World Cup in living memory. This is the tournament where the sitting president of the United States reportedly phoned FIFA and got a red card suspension lifted for a player on the host nation. This is the tournament where Egypt filed a formal written complaint accusing match officials of gifting Argentina a group stage game and demanded the referees be removed. This is the tournament where FIFA turned around in the same news cycle and appointed an all-Argentina officiating crew to a quarter-final. This is the tournament where the FBI is reportedly, according to 2 U.S. outlets, examining the finances of the defending champion's own federation. So when a marginal handball call goes the way of the pre-tournament favorite, in a quarter-final against a smaller nation whose 2 star players had already limped off, the reaction was not well. That was a difficult decision. The reaction was instant, furious, and organized. The hashtag was trending inside 20 minutes. Belgian Federation officials were in front of cameras before Spain's players had left the pitch. And within an hour, the clip had over 40 million views across 3 platforms. The pattern is what people are furious about, and the pattern is real. Which brings us to the twist nobody was expecting. Because the referee at the center of this, Michael Oliver, one of the most respected officials in world football, a man who has taken charge of Champions League finals, was reportedly not the original appointment for this match. According to reporting that emerged overnight from 2 European outlets, a different referee, a South American official, had been penciled in for Spain versus Belgium as recently as 48 hours before kickoff. The switch was made, per those same reports, on Wednesday afternoon. FIFA has not, as of this recording, publicly explained why, and that silence, in this climate, is what turned a normal officiating controversy into a full-blown crisis of credibility. Because here is what Belgian fans are asking, and honestly, it is not an unreasonable question. If the appointment was changed at the last minute, who made the call? Who requested it? And why is nobody at FIFA 48 hours later stood in front of a microphone and given a straight answer? Now let's do the thing nobody in the outrage cycle wants to do. Let's actually look at the handball. Because here is where I have to be honest with you, even when the fun answer would be easier. On the freeze frame, the ball comes off Doku's foot at close range. Rodri is turned side on. His left arm is not extended, it is bent. tucked slightly across his torso. The distance from ball strike to arm contact is, by broadcaster measurement, under 4 feet. His reaction time, based on standard biomechanical estimates, would be somewhere between 0.2 and 0.3 seconds. In other words, functionally none. The guidance FIFA gives its own referees, the guidance printed in the laws of the game, is specific on this. A handball is not automatic just because the ball hits the arm. It has to be a deliberate act, or the arm has to be in an unnaturally expanded position that makes the defender bigger. Rodri's arm was not doing either of those things. He was turned. The deflection was point blank. He could not physically have moved. By the letter of the law, and by the spirit of the law, no penalty is a defensible call. 2 former Premier League referees have said so on the record since the final whistle. UEFA's own refereeing manual has a near-identical scenario used as a training example, and the marked answer is no penalty. So on the merits, Belgium were probably not robbed. But that is not the story anymore, and it hasn't been the story since about the 70th minute of that match. Because here's the second thing that has gone viral tonight, and this one is harder to wave away. Belgian broadcaster VTM aired, on their post-match analysis show, what they described as leaked audio from the VAR booth. In it, according to their translation, one of the assistant video officials can be heard saying the phrase, "Not enough for us to go in," before the check was complete. Whether that audio is authentic, whether the translation is accurate, whether it means what Belgian television says it means, is all still being verified. FIFA has not responded. The referees' union has not responded. But the clip is now everywhere. And in a tournament that has already burned through its credibility, the mere existence of that clip is enough. That is the moment this stopped being a handball debate and became a governance crisis. Because you can defend a refereeing decision. You cannot defend an institution that will not answer basic questions about its own process. And it gets worse. Because the Belgian Federation, within about 3 hours of the final whistle, released a statement that stopped just short of accusing FIFA of predetermining the result. The exact phrase was that Belgium had, quote, serious concerns about the integrity of officiating decisions at critical moments of the match. That is federation-level language. That is not a fan tweet. That is a National Football Association putting its name on paper and formally telling the world it does not believe it got a fair game. The last time a UEFA-affiliated federation used language that pointed at a World Cup outcome, we had to wait years to find out how much of it was true. Which brings us to the uncomfortable question at the center of all of this. And it is not, was the Rodri call correct? It is a different question entirely. Can FIFA still be believed? Because that is the actual damage here. Whether or not Michael Oliver got the decision right, and he probably did, FIFA has spent this entire tournament forfeiting its own authority. Every quiet phone call, every last-minute appointment change, every unexplained crew selection, every complaint filed and buried, every leaked audio clip that gets no response. All of it stacks up. And it stacks up in a way that means even a textbook correct no penalty gets filed. In the public mind, under-rigged. That is the cost. FIFA has made every close call in this tournament look suspicious. Belgian fans are going to go to their graves believing they should have had that penalty. And no amount of technically correct guidance is going to move them. Because the institution asking them to trust the process has given them, by rough count, at least 6 separate reasons this tournament alone not to. So where does that leave us tonight? Spain march into a semi-final against France in Dallas on Tuesday. On Bastille Day. In what is now being called, only half-jokingly, the final that arrived around early. Kylian Mbappé sits 1 goal behind Lionel Messi's all-time World Cup record and could equal or break it in that match. It is the biggest football fixture on the planet this year, and it is going to be played under a cloud that FIFA created and has refused, so far, to lift. Belgium fly home believing the tournament was taken from them, not by Spain, by the whistle, by the appointment sheet, by whatever was said in that VAR booth. And FIFA, as of this recording, has still not held a press conference. The question I want to leave you with is not whether Rodri's arm should have cost Spain a penalty. The question is whether, at this point, any decision this tournament produces can still be trusted at all. Because if the leaked VAR audio is authentic, and if the referee swap really did happen 48 hours out, and if the Belgian Federation's formal complaint gets the same treatment Egypt's did, then this World Cup has a problem that no amount of highlight reel football is going to paper over. Tell me where you land. Was the no call correct application of the law? Or was it the latest big team getting the latest big call in the latest big game? Drop it in the comments. And stick around because the FIFA response, if it ever comes, is going to be the story that decides whether France versus Spain on Tuesday is a football match or a coronation nobody trusts.